If there's anybody on the field who should know the clock situation, it should be the senior quarterback. I said, Will Howard, you have got to be kidding me. We only had 6 seconds. But yet you still had enough time just to get down and call timeout. And he just mismanaged. But it does go back to the offensive pass interference on Jeremiah Smith that took us out of field goal range. Top of the top, episode 264, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And this is just an episode. Just saw some topics you may want to hear about. Thank you for tuning in as well. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to your preferred platform. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like this video as well if you're watching on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Check out this show. All love is greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone had a safe week, safe weekend. Do the same this upcoming week. A lot to talk about this week. A lot of things to get into. First, I'm going to start with a recap. My Ohio State Buckeyes, we took on Oregon over the weekend in a losing effort. Definitely a night to remember, but also some mistakes we can learn from. So I'm going to get into that. Also, new music. A lot of projects to get into. We got new Dom Kennedy, new Glorilla, new Currency, Money Man, BigxThaPlug, and some more things I want to discuss. And to wrap up this episode, I'm going to talk about the J. Cole record, Port Antonio, that he dropped last week that caused a lot of conversations in the hip-hop community. And, of course, I got to come give my, my reaction to it, if you will. So sit back, relax. Stash House Podcast, we back. So to start things off, my Ohio State Buckeyes, we took the loss against Oregon over the weekend, 32-31. First real test of the season, but y'all know I take it week by week, game by game. But the landscape of college football today, any given week, your team can win or lose. Hostile environment at Eugene, Oregon, number 2 versus number 3, primetime television. Mistakes, early mistakes before I get to the nitty and gritty of this game. Slow start, Ohio State culture, I hate it. First half, we look like one team. Second half, we look like another team. I never agreed with it, but that's been the culture for the past few years. Holding the timeouts at the end of the first half, I didn't really feel good about. I believe it was a 3rd-and-1 situation. We gave the ball to Travion Henderson. It was 4th-and-1. And granted, if he would have got the first down, I wouldn't be saying this. But when it comes to 3rd-and-1, 4th-and-1, and you can say, Tyler, this Madden logic, you need to relax. But I'm always a fan of a good old traditional I formation. Give me that quarterback, give me a fullback, give me that running back, and just go straight forward. Just give me 1 yard. I'll take 2. But I'm always a fan of that, but it is what it is. And Ryan Day theory, just being in love with the wide receiver screen. Fam, if it's not working that first drive, just throw it away. Why 3rd and 16 you doing a wide receiver screen? Come on, man. You got a quarterback who's not afraid to run. You got a quarterback that's not afraid to throw it. And he's not afraid to stand in the pocket. You got 2 great running backs. And you got receivers at your disposal. You got great receivers at your disposal. Why are you doing a wide receiver screen on 3rd and 16? Come on, Ryan Day. Get it together, man. And with this game, it was Chip Kelly returning to Oregon. He was their head coach from 2009 to 2012. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew this, but I didn't know how close Ryan Day and Chip Kelly were. In terms of wherever Chip Kelly goes, Ryan Day is a quarterback coach or something like that. Fast forward, Ryan Day the head coach, Chip Kelly the offensive coordinator. Like I said, Ryan Day, your replacement is not too far away from you. Do with that information as you will. But what went wrong, man? What went wrong? First, start with the defense. We gave up 496 yards. Unacceptable. Before the game started, it was on NBC. They're doing the pregame, making their predictions. Everybody, Ohio State. But at the very end, Michael Robinson, who has a podcast, by the way, with Marshawn Lynch, Michael Robinson said, as much as I want to go for Oregon, as much as this stadium is rocking right now, I can't go against a team that's built like an NFL team. And he was talking about Ohio State, and I said, here we go. That's the jinx. Here we go. Because Ohio State, like I say, throughout the years, they'll have a great team, great offense, superstar players, but you got to watch them week to week. And when it's time for that game that you got circled on your calendar, normally this happens week 2, week 3, but we halfway into the season. Now we get our real first test, and that's when you really see what Ohio State is about. And this Oregon game, another test of that. We lost against Oregon a couple years ago, but before then, we beat them every matchup. The last time we faced them, I want to say it was probably 2022 probably, if not 21, we lost. So I was really intrigued to see how they were going to come back out this time around. And, yeah, the Ryan Day special, if you will. Pass defense. Oregon's offense averaged 10 yards per pass. That's unacceptable. So you mean to tell me any given time they drop back the pass that they could get a first down? Unacceptable. Their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, 23 completions out of 34 attempts, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Defense was able to get no turnovers, and Oregon offense, Denzel Burke. They lit my boy Denzel Burke up. The senior cornerback at that. It ain't like he a freshman or a sophomore. Senior, experienced cornerback, and he just looked out of whack. He was getting burnt on routes. The entire defense just took the day off from tackling. It was just a recipe for disaster. It really was. Our rushing defense gave up 5 yards per run. So now Oregon is probably guaranteed a 3rd and short, 4th and short situation. They running back Jordan James, 23 carries, 115 yards. Now our offense, like I said, slow start first half. We woke up in the second half. Will Howard, 28 completions out of 35 attempts, 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Travion Henderson, 10 carries, 87 yards. Quinshon Judkins, 11 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown. But a very, very off night for him. He also had an early fumble as well. Jeremiah Smith, the freshman phenom, wide receiver, 9 catches, 100 yards, touchdown. Emeka Ibuka, 10 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. So you ask, well, what happened with the offense? And I think it came down, of course, to that last drive. But damn, man, penalties. 8 penalties cost us 70 yards. None more important than that last drive. Offensive pass interference on Jeremiah Smith. Took us out of field goal range. Took us all out of field goal range. We did get a penalty that gave us 5 yards, but still. And keep in mind, I get it. And obviously, as an Ohio State fan, I know that kick could have went any way. But damn, if you were to tell me we can get a kick inside the red zone rather than maybe the 40, 45, I'll take the kick inside the red zone. But we couldn't even get a kickoff. We could not even get a field goal to temp off. Bad clock management. We only had 6 seconds with 1 timeout. If there's anybody on the field who should know the clock situation, it should be the senior quarterback. I said, Will Howard, you have got to be kidding me. We only had 6 seconds. But yet you still had enough time just to get down and call timeout. And he just mismanaged. But it does go back to the offensive pass interference on Jeremiah Smith that took us out of field goal range. Because even if Will Howard got down and called timeout, we probably had maybe I can't even think of what it would have been. Maybe 45-yard field goal. And that's not a guarantee. So that what ultimately did it. But, of course, like I said, the defense, the way that they played, the offense, slow start. And Oregon came to play. I cannot take away anything from Oregon. They came to play. Now we go into the bye week. I would love to went to the bye week undefeated, you know what I'm saying, talk a little shit. Unfortunately, that's not the situation. Going to the bye week, adjust some things because the next 2 games after the bye week, we got Nebraska, who this week plays an undefeated Indiana team. And after Nebraska, we got Penn State, who's undefeated at the moment. So the season not over with, like I said, 12-team format, but we can't afford to lose another game. And keep in mind, this Oregon-Ohio State game is now a Big Ten matchup. That's one thing I had to adjust. I like, damn, this is not like a cross-conference matchup no more. This is a Big Ten matchup. Oklahoma-Texas, Red River rivalry. That's an SEC rivalry now. It's crazy how they change things up, but we can't afford to slack off no more this season. Still got some games we can get on our belt, and who knows what the rest of the season holds. At the time I'm recording, remaining undefeated teams, We got Texas, Oregon, Penn State, Miami, Iowa State, BYU, Indiana, and Pitt in terms of teams in the top 25. So a lot of things still left to happen. I would love to be undefeated, but hey, man, teams, that one-loss team bus, make some room for me. I'm hopping on board with y'all. So that's what I got. Ohio State, like I said, we took the loss against Oregon this past weekend. A lot of things to adjust, a lot of mistakes to learn from, but overall, forget about it. Definitely a night to forget. Now let's get into some new music. Like I said, a lot of new projects to talk about. First, let's start with the project I was anticipating the most. Dom Kennedy, class of 95, 19 records. I was very intrigued to see Dom's approach to this project. If you were to ask me what type of Dom Kennedy fan I am, I'll probably say I'm just a surface level. If you ask me my favorite projects, I'm going to give you probably the one that, you just listen to the popular albums, the Yellow album, the From West Side with Love 2, the Get Home Safely. And I did enjoy the project he dropped with T-Fly last year, I Love Stalker, which I talked about on here last year. So if you were to ask me, I'm not deep into Dom Kennedy catalog, but I do just enjoy the more popular projects from him. Shout out to Dom Kennedy. I was very, very pleased with this project overall. Like I said, 19 tracks, a very, very good listen, though. A very good listen. It went with the vibe over the weekend, good weather, nothing to really complain about, and you had some errands to run. I definitely say you put this Dom Kennedy project on. He got some good features as well. I want to say probably from his OPM crew. Very, very pleased with this Dom Kennedy album. I can't joke because I know for a time, like I said, I'm just a surface level Dom Kennedy fan, but I have seen on the timeline recently, especially within the past few years, the comparison of how Larry June came into that lane and how the Dom Kennedys and the Currency still need to be around when you got the Larry Junes, the Primo Rices, the Jay Worthys, those lifestyle, the artists you could just put on, cruise to, vibe with. It's good to see Dom Kennedy in the mix. I was hoping he would do an interview with one of the West Coast podcasts that I pay attention to from here and there. I really, really hope he sits down with somebody and gives like a real in-tune interview about this project, what his mindset was and everything, because Dom's just an individual I think we need to hear more from. You know what I'm saying? Like his business mind. I think he got a lot of stuff a lot of game, I'll say, he can give to people, especially from a West Coast point of view. So I'm really looking forward to see what Dom does with this project. Favorite songs, I'll say that Leaning song, the legendary, the Casablanca I really enjoy, Attention, Celine, and Gallery. So if you haven't already, do yourself a favor, check out the Dom Kennedy album, Class of 95. Next project, we got Glorilla, Glorious, 15 records. Y'all know I champion Glorilla a lot on this podcast. This is her second project this year. I even went to the limits of my mid-year episode. I put her right there with Kendrick in terms of MVPs of the year, and she's still in that bracket for me. I got Kendrick, Glow, and I probably throw Future in the mix after that mixtape Pluto, because I still listen to that a lot. But Glorilla is definitely one of my favorite women artists out these days. And this project, man, she really showed her growth. She really showed her growth. I'm on record saying, just stick with that Tay Keith bag, that Memphis sounding bag, and you straight. But this project, I see she playing around with different sounds. Her content is what really get me, though. Like, yeah, she'll give you the tracks with Lotto, Meg, Sexy Red, which even though they're not for me, I know what they can do for the women. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing when I go into, that's the type of attitude I approach the women artists with, especially the ones that can give you the TGIF. Like, I ain't about to be chanting out, you know what I'm saying? It's 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degrees. I ain't got no nigga. I ain't about to be screaming that out when I'm out to eat or at a function or nothing like that, but I know the women are going to love it. But she has songs on here, the Don't Deserve with Moody Long, that kind of put me in the mindset of the Eve, Love is Blind. Like, the content is more than just the shit the women going to put Don Julio on top of their head, too. You know what I'm saying? The track with Kirk Franklin, I was like, okay, now back then it would have been like, oh, really, Kirk Franklin, but we all human at the end of the day. And the content is like, she's just thankful for being here. How can you disagree with that? You know what I'm saying? And even, like I said, the tracks that's not for me, the Sexy Red, where they kind of pay tribute to Bootsy Wipe Me Down, I know the women going to eat that up. They loving the Meg Thee Stallion song. All around, Glorilla did her thing, man. I ain't gonna lie. The track with T-Pain, now I think that should have been a T-Pain interlude. I would have loved, because that T-Pain part, I was like, hey, Glo, you might want to let T-Pain just keep this one. Why T-Pain is not like a go-to still for features? Like, the way the climate is now with music, like, the way he came on this Glorilla song, I'm like, damn, this shit put me back to, like, when I first heard I'm Sprung. Like, T-Pain got that sound to where back then, the auto-tune shit, was it overused, overplayed somewhat, but then Future came right back with it a couple years later. But now hearing T-Pain on this, I'm like, bro, T-Pain needs to still get placement, man. Like, it put you in the mindset of buy you a drink and, like, what T-Pain has done for the culture, sadly, I don't think it's been appreciated enough. You know what I'm saying? I know we say that a lot about T-Pain. I know we give him his flowers. He'll pop up at an award show. But still, like, from what he went through with Jay-Z, the death of auto-tune and all that, for him to still get placements on some of the top artists' projects, we need to applaud that a little bit more. And he got his own thing. He independent. He got his own streaming company, gaming company. We need to show T-Pain a little bit more love, man. And I think a lot of artists can benefit from a T-Pain feature in 2024. And I wouldn't think that before this song, but when he came on, I said, damn, T-Pain sounded good as hell on this song. So shout out to Glorilla, shout out to T-Pain. Stop Playing, I really enjoy. The Glow's Prayer, I really enjoy. She give you the best of both worlds. Like I say, she do stuff for the women, obviously. They got their movement going on. But when you give me something as a man, I'm like, hey, man, the beat fire, the content, I can listen to it and not feel like damn, I'm listening too much women shit. It like, now you talking about your friend trying to leave her man. You encourage your friend she can do better. I'm just thankful for being here. Like, all praises to the Most High. I can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Glorilla. Like I said, I've been championing her on this podcast openly. She is one of the few women acts I run to, because she'll give you a hit record and come back with a project. That's the thing about it I like. She don't take too long to come up with a project. So shout out to Glorilla. I'm very, very pleased with this glorious project. Shout out to her. Also, some more new music. My guy Currency, DJ Fresh, they dropped the Encore, 11 records. Their second project this year, they also dropped the Tonight Show Part 2 a couple weeks ago, or about a month ago, I'll say. And that's a follow-up from the Tonight Show from 2020. And y'all know the features, the normal suspects. We got Primo Rice, Jay Worthy, Smoke Dizza, Fendi P. And shout out to Currency. Y'all know he's another guy who I champion a lot on this show. Not much more for me to say. This Currency third project overall this year, he did 2 now with DJ Fresh, and he did 1 with Monster Beats. And y'all know when it comes to Currency, like I say, he's dropping. When he drop, I listen because he's one of my favorite artists. But it hit different when it's a Currency Alchemist, Currency Harry Fraud, Currency Pilot Talk, or something like that. So I am waiting on one of those to pop out soon. But overall, this Encore project, Tonight Show 2, the project with Monster Beats, Currency doing what Currency does, man. He been in the game for a minute, independent grind, doing his own thing in New Orleans. Can't be mad at that. Also, Money Man dropped a new project, TMZ, 17 records, all produced by Traumatone and Zaytoven. And y'all know what I always say when it comes to Money Man. I need the Money Man 2 Chainz song. With Zaytoven production, come on, man. I feel like we're being robbed of that. I feel like we're being robbed. And I think I tweeted it before, but I definitely tweeted over the weekend. Money Man on Zaytoven production, that's a cheat code. It give me that old sound that I really, really enjoy from growing up, listening to like authentic trap music. Anytime you hear Zaytoven, like I said, he's one of my top 5 producers of all time, just because that's who production I grew up on the most, with Gucci and all that. So shout out to Zaytoven. And speaking of growing up, Zaytoven, trap music, whatever, I saw Alley Boy and Young LA patch things up, and they got a song coming out. If you don't know, Alley Boy duct tape, Young LA, Ain't I, they had their situation back in the day with the duct tape tattoo. I want to say that was, I can't remember the years. I want to say maybe 2012, maybe 2013, if not 2011. That happened, and all these years later, see them two come together. You know, it is what it is. It's good to see, people can put differences aside, make some music together, make some money together. And shout out to Young Aaliyah, Alley Boy. Lastly, new projects that came out over the weekend. BigxThaPlug, Take Care, 15 Records. Probably the most impressive project over the weekend. That says a lot. Like, this weekend reminded me of 2019, to where it's like, damn, I got multiple projects, and I'm listening to the multiple projects over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't have a good Friday like this where it's more than 2 projects that drop, and it's great quality music. I feel like we haven't had that in a minute. But BigxThaPlug, I was definitely impressed with the most. I think this is the first Big X full, maybe his second full project I listened to. And I don't listen to him like that. He pop on my timeline a lot. Like, he's definitely an artist that's in the mix coming out of Texas. And like I always say, like Slim Thug say, you really don't got to leave Texas. Like, you can make a living in Texas, but I can see with this project, Big X is definitely going to break out that Texas scene. Great quality music. Great quality music. He got that flow, the voice. The voice is what do it, and the flow does it. Mixed with the production, come on, man. And he got some substance. It ain't like he just flossing or nothing. He got substance in his music. He remind me of a Maxo Cream. I don't know. I don't know if they both from Houston. I want to say Big X probably for Dallas. I'm not sure, but he reminds me of like a Maxo Cream type in terms of his substance and his flow. But it just dope all around. Like, on a Friday, good weather outside. You know you got some weekend plans. This was the one I was like, damn, it put me back like a good Friday mood. Like, you want to really make some more moves after you done made your moves already. And he just a quick listen too. It's only like 30 minutes long. A quick listen. That's all I need. Especially this Friday when you have multiple projects to get to. Oh man, I was very, very pleased with the BigxThaPlug project. I was very, very pleased. So shout out to BigxThaPlug. Tracks to check out. The intro is crazy. I love the Leave Me Alone therapy session tracks, Planting Seeds. But my 2 favorite, that Law and Order, which had me thinking which Law and Order I like more, the Big X version or that V's. That V's probably still got it. That V's Law and Order, that shit is hard. But Big X did his spin on it, and I ain't mad at it. And that 2 a.m. song I really enjoy a lot. So like I said before, BigxThaPlug, Take Care. Also, some more music I didn't get to, the Rod Wave Last Lap album. And we know that's the one I saw a lot of people talking about. Rod Wave does have a fan base. Personally, the music not for me, but I know a few people who do listen to him, who do post his music a lot. And hey, who am I to say, hey, you know, this person's music might not do it for me, but it may do it for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rod Wave. He definitely going to get his money. He definitely going to probably go on tour. I think he already got a tour set up, if I'm not mistaken. So Rod Wave, he got a fan base that loyal to him. This early in his career, too, he has a fan base. So shout out to them. Also, some other projects that came out the past weeks I wanted y'all to check out. From Griselda, we got Wrong Streets and Derringer. Dropped the Haddon Garden Hold Up project. R&B, Leon Thomas, the Mud album. Yes, definitely one of the best R&B albums this year. Leon Thomas, the guy from Victorious, Nickelodeon show, he's grown into a man now. This project, Mud, is a must listen. Definitely now since the weather is getting cold. If you enjoy R&B, Leon Thomas, Mud album. I've been seeing it on the timeline. So you know what? Let me go check it out. Great, great quality album. Great quality album. So a few of those albums I'm going to talk about later on this year to where I just kept seeing it on my timeline. I just said, you know what? Let me go check it out. The Common Pete Rock album. If you love Common Beat album, listen to that Common Pete Rock album. I just saw people on the timeline saying, yo, if you like that mature hip hop, check it out. But then I saw somebody say, hey, if you love Common Beat album, you're going to love the Common Pete Rock album. And that's what got me to listen to it. And it's great quality music as well. This Friday, we got Benny the Butcher and 38 Special dropping a Stabbed and Shot 2 project. I'm expecting some good back and forth on that. The Stabbed and 2 Part 1 is very good as well. Check that out. So overall, this past weekend, in terms of new music, I was very, very pleased. Dom Kennedy, Class of 95, Glorilla, Glorious, Money Man, TMZ, Currency, The Encore, BigxThaPlug, Take Care. You had the Rod Wave drop as well. I'm very pleased all around with the new music that came out over the weekend. Now to wrap things up, I want to talk about J. Cole's song he dropped last week, Port Antonio. At first, I want to say strictly on Instagram, but he also dropped it on YouTube, and I was like, okay, you mean to tell me Cole, Drake, and Kendrick dropping songs on just Instagram now? But Cole did it, put it on YouTube. A lot of things to talk about with this song. First, this is the J. Cole approach to things. I kind of want to say my overall summary of this song after days of thinking about it. It's like I feel like this is the song he wish he could have dropped instead of 7 Minute Drill, or a song in this with this approach instead of how he did with 7 Minute Drill, because this is the J. Cole approach. Go back to 2016, False Prophets. Talked about Kanye in the first verse. Second verse, he talked about Wale. And mainly with the Wale verse, it was like the most encouraging way to reflect on the peer. You know, you're telling your comrade about himself, and you really can't get mad if you take it away, but you're saying it out of place of respect and not malicious. You're not saying it in a malicious way. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when that happened, and I was like, okay, it's not a diss, but I wouldn't be mad if Wale took it away. And Wale did respond, because I think Cole was just on some, I got a friend, he always want to compare himself to the greats, but he don't realize, like, he got his own fan base that love him. Like, man, focus on your fan base. This game can put you in a whirlwind where you want to be compared to the Kendricks, Coles, and the Drakes, but, man, you got your own fan base that love you, especially when you know Wale's character, the interviews he's done over the years. It's clear as day. And that's all Cole was saying. And then Wale came back with a record. I can't remember exactly what Wale said, but I know at the end, he was like, Cole, you still my boy. Matter of fact, we're going to a basketball game later on. And they did a video where they was at a basketball game later that night. And also from the KOD album, 1985, we was talking about Lil Pump, because at the time, Lil Pump, he had the underground, he had the kids, the Gucci gang, all that. And at his shows, his fans just randomly start shouting out, "Fuck J. Cole," and he just kept going with it. So J. Cole addressed it on 1985. The KOD album in general, the whole theme was getting on the mumble rappers, it seemed like, in hindsight. Even at the time, I ain't gonna say in hindsight, at the time, like, it was kids on drugs and all that. So 1985, he basically told Lil Pump, hey, you popping right now. It's just a fad. You're gonna die out soon. Your songs don't got content. You're gonna go broke. You're gonna end up on Love and Hip Hop. And shortly after that, him and Lil Pump did an interview together. I do not kid y'all. Google is free. YouTube is free. J. Cole and Lil Pump did an interview together where they interviewed each other. That's just J. Cole approach. It feels like he wished he could have did something like this before everything popped off. And that's what I want to talk about with this song. The song in general, Cole can rap. That we always say that. Cole can rap. That's no question. He got a fan base as well that is going to agree with him right or wrong. And the one thing I really enjoy about this, it brought on a healthy hip-hop conversation. Because you got Cole fans that agree, and you got Cole fans like myself who don't agree. But it could be a healthy conversation. I can see your side of saying, you know, hey, I'm just protecting my mental, whoop-de-whoop. But me at the same point, I can say, well, you did enter the ring. You know what I'm saying? But overall, he's rapping. That's one thing you can't take away from J. Cole. And I will say this Port Antonio song by J. Cole has probably made The Fall Off my most anticipated J. Cole album. I was already anticipating this, seeing what route he was going to take, but now I'm very intrigued to see the content and how he decides to move before and after the album. So that's one thing I did take away from this record. Now, let's talk about the track. Mainly was the second verse, the part of the song everyone talking about when he addressed the fact that he bowed out the battle. It all sounds good in hindsight, right? It's October. We've seen how everything play out. It's cool to say, hey, I didn't want to be involved in that. I saw the direction it was going. That's why I have a problem. When J. Cole apologized, I want to say, April, May? The only song that was out at the time was Kendrick's Like That verse on Future's album. J. Cole shot back quick with the Might Delete Later project, which I still feel like is one of the better projects this year. I just listened to that about 2-3 weeks ago. The 7 Minute Drill situation, it didn't take away from the fact Cole can still rap, and this project It's a very good project. I talked about it earlier this year. It's in the archives. Go check it out. I don't want to repeat myself, but I said I think the project in general, not even having 7 Minute Drill to start with, the project in general would have been a good response. Hey, Dot, I could go back at you, but I'm going to drop a full project. The whole joke with Kendrick Lamar is his fans got to wait 3 to 5 years for a project. I'm going to drop my project right here, right now, before my festival that I'm headlining, and we going to do what it do. If I got something to say on stage, I say it on stage. That's how I felt at the time. But if you go back to that apology, and I went back to that apology, the reason J. Cole said he bowed out then is not the same reason he's saying he bowed out now. Now, it's rumors going into the Dreamville Fest. After the festival, after the apology, it was rumored because Schoolboy Q, TDE affiliate, Black Hippie, member with Kendrick Lamar, he performed at the festival. It's rumors him and J. Cole had a conversation. He told Cole to stand down. Now, the context of that situation, or even if it's true, and I hate to do the gospel talk, but it plays a role into this verse, in my opinion. The context of the conversation, we don't know. Did Q say, hey, man, Dot more focused on Drake. He ain't really focused about you. And I highly doubt Q said, hey, man, I talked to Dot. He heard 7 Minute Drill, and he really feel upset. 7 Minute Drill was the least malicious comeback. It wasn't false prophets, but in my opinion, you just told Kendrick, hey, if you want to get down, we can get down. We can go back and forth, see who better. And he just said something about his catalog. Like I said it, I didn't think Kendrick would take that away, but we don't know these people's mindsets at the time. We don't know how serious this situation is, obviously, because like I said, the songs that came out since then did cut deep. So I don't know the context. It was also rumors that Drake was supposed to perform at Dreamville Fest, but I think they said the way Cole responded, he didn't know if they want to do first-person shooter or not, perform it. So it's just a lot of rumors and situations going on with the Dreamville Fest apology. But talking about the apology in general, Cole was like, man, it kept me up all night. I felt like it was the lamest shit I did. My friends are peer pressuring me. And he even said it like, I'm sure my people trying to cut my mic off right now. And he told the fans to make some love for Kendrick Lamar. He like, how dare I try to downplay that man catalog? If you think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers out here, make some noise. So that was that. Cole went away. He came back. He been active. He came back with the Cash Cobain feature, which didn't hit, was a very head-scratching decision. But recently he came back with the Daylight feature and the T Grizzly feature. So I figured Cole apologized. He didn't want to be a part of it. Did he know what was about to happen? Who told him what was about to happen? Who knows? But it seems as if Cole was moving on. Then we got the Port of Antonio song where he addressed why he bowed out again. But this time, it sounded a little bit different, in my opinion, from what he said on stage. It does sound a little bit different. I don't want to say contradicting himself, but it just sounds a lot different. A few bars I want to talk about. I bowed out the battle. They doing it for blood. They want clicks to make their pockets grow. And I didn't understand that because I'm like, Cole, you could put a song out right now where you just burping on the track and your fans are going to dissect it and people are going to click and listen to it. You can have a song where you're doing a master class in rapping. People are going to click. People are going to listen to it. Did he think only them three were going to hear each other's songs and not the public? The public is going to react to it. We in 2024. People got podcasts, the news, you got the radio, you got tweeting, you got Facebook. People are going to talk about it, J. Cole. The level MC you're at, the caliber MC you at, people are going to talk about it. People are talking about this Port Antonio song. So I didn't understand, like, why would you give the reason why, oh, they just doing it for clicks and woo-de-woo. That's what most artists do it for. Why would you put something out that don't want people to listen to it? So I didn't understand that. Fire in my pen. They think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle. I would have lost the bro. Now, I take that in two separate situations. When I heard it, I was like, bro, you can't say, if I would have did it, I would have won and I would have lost the bro. That's what it sounds like, but then he could be saying it's more than just a battle. Like, this my dog. Like, this my comrade. We came up in this game together. Why would I shoot at him? Which you did shoot at him. That's my thing. It wasn't the most malicious way. That's what I'm saying. I think it's more information than we privy to. Because we don't know what Kendrick's mindset is. Keep in mind, he's the psycho out of these three guys. We don't know what bruh is thinking. Obviously, he was like, them two hugging and kissing on stage. I don't know, but when he say, If I would have participated, I wouldn't have lost. I would have lost to bro. I'm thinking he mean more towards my relationship with bro is more important than who the fans think won or lost. But like I said, I don't think Kendrick and Cole would have been malicious. I think that would just been some friendly. It could have been like another, what's it called, Black Friday, what they did when Kendrick jumped on the J. Cole beat, J. Cole jumped on the Kendrick beat. Like, y'all come from that cloth. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I didn't like to hear it, but then the more I thought about it, like, okay, he can't mean, well, y'all lucky I wasn't in the battle because I would have won. I don't know if he meant it from that standpoint. I would hope not. Dig up dirt, pay a whole team of bots, compete for favorable means and who's considered the best. It's like, come on, man. Like, that's just the way of the world. As a dude who does a podcast, I can't agree. The bots, everything with this battle. I said at the start of this battle, I said I didn't think anybody would win because the fan bases are just too crazy. But obviously it was a winner and a loser. Don't get it twisted. But the fan bases are just crazy nowadays, man. You're going to have the bots. You're going to have the Team Drake pages, the Team Kendrick pages, the Team J. Cole pages. You're going to have that. That's just the way of the world. It's very rare we can get, like, real, true hip-hop conversations nowadays. It damn near got to be in person. Because you never know the other person on that keyboard, they may be saying something crazy. You be like, damn, dog, you really think that? So, as much as I want to understand Cole's standpoint, in hindsight, it sounds good. But now it's like, fam, what did you know beforehand? What didn't you know? That's where I'm at. Because I'm like, what you said on that stage ain't what you really saying now. It sounds good in hindsight. I want to know what was going through your mind before you hit that stage at Dreamville Fest to apologize. That's the J. Cole I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from the one after Not Like Us and Family Matters and Meet the Grams and all that. No, I want to hear because you jumped out the window first. He dropped before push-ups even came out. Come on, man. Come on. But at the same time, if that's how that man want to express, I can't get mad at an artist want to express how you feel, but it does make me believe more and more to the theory of the fall off. Like, if this is a concept where he just doing everything an artist not of his caliber not supposed to do, then damn it, he doing a great job. Because like I said, for the past 6 years, Cole been on these songs, Cole been on these features like he been waiting on this moment. And then when it finally get here, you jumped out the ring once the bell ring, you jump out the ring. That's what got me confused. You jumped out, did 7-minute drill, you jumped out before shit got cracking. So you had to know something was coming. You had to hear a song or a rumor or something. Or a Q probably told you, hey man, Dot about to go crazy. If you want to be a part of it, cool, but he about to go there. So I don't know, man. And there been talks of hip-hop media why, yes, we appreciate J. Cole saying this on songs. It would be good just to get like an interview, a sit-down interview with Angie Martinez or somebody, but it's like, these folks don't do interviews no more, man. Interview, I can see your tone, I can see your facial expression, if you stuttering, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It kind of made me feel like I wonder who Cole got around him this year. Because one minute you say your people peer pressuring you to doing a 7-minute drill. Then on this song, you saying people texting you, giving you feedback like, man, just because you ain't used the gun don't mean it ain't deadly. It's like you had a chance. You shot the gun already. And then you like, oh, I only got one bullet. Let me dip out real quick. I don't know, man. And I will say this, my approach to this situation has changed over the week. Because before, like, if I would have recorded right after I heard the song, I would probably come here with a different energy. But more, I just went back to False Prophets, went back to 1985, then I hear this song, and I'm like, this is the J. Cole thing to do. This is what he does in situations like this. Like the 7-minute drill, like I said, it wasn't malicious, but if he would have came with this approach, I would have been like, oh, that's how Cole do. But like I said, he got a fan base that go rock with him, right or wrong. And like I said, I haven't got to the features that he been doing, but I just want to hear Cole on the fall off. That's where I'm at right now. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been episode 264, Stash House Podcast. Make sure you guys go out, Have a great work week, a great school week. Stay safe, bundle up. Sending prayers out to everyone affected by the hurricanes that came through recently. The Carolinas, areas in Georgia, definitely Florida recently. Just sending my love and prayer out, man. Those scenes, seeing that water up that high in Florida, man, that's crazy. That's just crazy, man. I saw on TikTok somebody woke up, their house flooded, and they had a crocodile or alligator in their house. I said, bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. But sending love and prayers out to them as well. Once again, keep me in your prayers. I'll keep y'all in mind. Salute.